back, everybody. Rev does what he wants. That's what this segment is going to be. And it's just me doing whatever I feel like. We got Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers as a thing. But right now, I think just generally talking would be fine. But yeah, I was working on a... I was working on like a... I'm not going to look up hyenas and how that works. Like, I don't want to know anything about that information, honestly. But yeah, I realized that I don't actually want to make a video game or a card game video game because I don't really have like a theme that I want to go with for it. So that's kind of my issue there with that. Here, let me turn on this screen region with the light. There we go. Cool. How much have you fucked with Blender? Not that much. I really don't like care for it. I'll be real. Game of Sisyphus I'm thinking about uninstalling as well. I don't know as if anyone actually wants me to come back to that. Check YouTube chat. I've got it. YouTube chat's on. No worries. Yeah, anyone just get the Warhammer license for your game? There's already like a decent Warhammer game in the form of yeah, I'm gonna uninstall the Game of Sisyphus. Oh, I accidentally just started it. Shit. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, let's do the opposite of that and uninstall it. No, you're good. Cow cannoli? If I didn't fuck it up all the time, it'd be very different. Well, okay, so when I was looking into making a card game for my game, I was like, that would be a fun new way of doing like a fishing sort of mini game, you know? Have it be where, depending on what, well, here, I can tell you about what I was thinking. So, your skill affects your ability to gain draw cards, and your skill is something you level up, like, outside, and it just gives you better draw cards. It'd be kind of similar to, like, Potionomics in a lot of ways, and how it works, but it's like... And then the rod increases the size of your deck, which means that you thin out your deck more with more shit. More bullshit. Alright, let me just show you some stuff in Paint that I was thinking about. Or I guess I could just use this. Because this is open for some reason. Alright. Alright. So what I was thinking is that, like, you got bait, right? And bait affects the taste. And then you've got the lure, which is a thing that you can get and add to your deck. Oh, you guys can't see this. Right. Hold on. Bait affects the taste. Lure affects the look. And then the hook, which hook you have equipped, changes the size. But size and taste are on opposite sides of like a slider. So as you increase size, you decrease taste, which is about right. And so that was the mechanics of the game that I was thinking, is that these are the things that you add to your deck. The bait gives like a huge buff to all these things, but it does also they're expendable, whereas the lures and hooks are not. And I'm just like, So this involves like stuff. Like the question is like, why though? So then like your rod affects like not only the size of your deck, like the minimum size. So like the level 1 rod means that you have to have a deck size of like 10. But it's got a multiplier of 0.5. So after you're done doing your score in all your different categories, yes, you have less cards in your deck, but like they're worth less points, considerably less points. And then, you know, obviously this continues up with like different levels, going all the way up to rod level 5, which has a 1.5 times multiplier. And it's like 0.2 or 0.3 times the multiplier, or added to the multiplier every time. And then at the end, you have a 50 card deck. I don't know if this gap is enough to justify this gap, because 50 cards is a lot. Is increasing your deck 5 times the size worth it for increasing your damage or your stats by 3 times? Pocket Card Jockey, I've heard good things about that one. I was also, but like the thing is that I don't really know how, like, yeah, I was thinking like maybe instead of like deck size, it's maybe like maximum value, or like there's some like score implementation for the cards. But then I'm just like, what is this doing? Like, what does this do for the game to have this like card game mechanic? Like, how could this just be a different card game or a different thing? They're if you want to fuck with a statistician, ask them this. Ask them, if you had 2 decks of cards, what is the biggest size of each deck that you could have that would give you a 50% chance to have all the cards in the right order? This will fuck with them for hours. It's great. It's a great puzzle. Most of these mini games are, I mean, okay, so like the game I'm thinking about making without you guys is a fishing game. A fishing game where the idea is that there are no fish, right? And so you fish continuously with the expectation of getting fish, but you can't. So it's more of like an Animal Crossing sort of thing. So like fishing is like the main mechanic, but like what is the fishing mechanic like? Because that's gonna be a mechanic in the game. Like you have to do that. Like you have to fish. I love this little doodle fella, by the way. Yeah, I was gonna not go the anime direction for this one. I was gonna go like fellas. So it's like, does the deck building help with the fella energy? So I kind of want to look up what it'd be funny but potentially obnoxious to make it go fish. I mean, yeah, it'd be very annoying. So like, yeah, I think it's gonna be so, right. And then like you can level up your skill separately, and that's like plot based stuff. And it starts off with really bad cards that you can get from skill, but you put them in just cuz. Queen Anime Girl, how's it going? Welcome by. Like 1 cost, draw 1, discard 1. Like that's not a bad draw card, but it's not a good one. It's like a cycly kind of card, right? You might want to check out Pocket Jockey. That's only on Switch, right? And 3DS? And 3DS. Huh. All right. I will have to check that one out. I'm a little bit curious to see how Final Fantasy does fishing, so we're going to actually look at that. No. Final Fantasy. It's surprisingly easy to mod your 3DS. Final Fantasy MMO fishing, because it's apparently got one of the best fishing mechanics. Best fishing mechanics in a game. It kind of shows up with a lot of people. Red Dead Redemption is another one that people like. Red Dead Redemption 2 fishing. Catch any fish in seconds. Fishing guide. Advanced guide to fishing. All right, other games that have good fishing. Fable 1. Okay. Yeah, I hate this. Some ideas from Sims 3 and Warcraft. Fishing success based on trainable skill level. Boring. There are 2 Final Fantasy MMOs, both with fishing. What's... Alright, I want to see what this is. I remember this game, but... Yeah, this was kind of awful, I'll be real. Like, anytime it started to go out, like, you need to let go A, else you'd break the line. Yeah, I remember that. That sucked ass. Alright, Red Dead, what do you do?
Fishing can be a big part of Red Dead Redemption 2, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a fishing guide for all that you need to know, how to start it, and all about the legendary fish, perhaps? Let's get right to this. Now, the first thing you're going to need to know is that fishing is locked behind missions. You're going to need to get to Chapter 2, and you're going to have to...
Subscribe now, do it with 2 hands. I'm good.
Oil 2 before you can get a Fisher of Men. Once you have the option to get it, Abigail, as you can see here, will... This is a timed mission, so if you do the introduction to fishing, shows you how to get your rod out, it shows you how to bait it, and then how to cast. Now this mission will explain the majority of it, but we'll touch base real quick on it here. You simply hit your left trigger to address the rod and to grip it, hit your right to pull back, and then release the cast. It's that simple. Once you get it out there, you use your right thumbstick to reel. You put it in a roundabout kind of motion. Every 10 to 15 seconds or so, hit your right trigger to jerk it, and that'll pull the rod.
That's so boring, though.
Rod in an upward motion. It's just to attract them. Don't do it too much or you will spook them. Now let's skip ahead till we get a fish on. Now the fish are going to nibble. You know when they really take it. That's when you got to hook them just like so, and then you start reeling in. This might not be the...
I know that's what real fishing's like, but why did we make this fishing game boring?
Welcome to getting started with fishing in Final Fantasy XIV. Fisher is one of the 3 Disciples of Land jobs, and once you're all geared up, head back to the Fisherman's Guild and talk to Sisyphu to get started with your first Fisher job quest. For the Laminson anchovies we need to catch for Sisyphu, we'll need to use lugworm as our bait.
Is the bunny twink better?
And our bait and tackle window will open. Click on the lugworms in the bait window to apply them. A check mark will show which bait is currently applied. This window will show all the bait we have in our inventory. If you've unlocked the fisherman's, fishing in the Limsa Laminsa lower decks fishing hole. Every fishing hole has a number of different fish that you can catch. Each fish has one of 3 bite types.
Can you see the fish beforehand? The game is called a fishing game with no fish.
These bites also correspond to the movement and sound of the rod when a fish bites. When you see the exclamation points appear over your head, press the hook skill within 3 seconds to reel in the fish. Sometimes the fish will get away, and that's okay. Just
This sucks too. Like, this is mostly interesting because of like the regional differences in fish. Warframe fishing.
Hello everyone, my name is Quadly and welcome to an all-out guide for fishing in Warframe. In this video, I will cover the fish on the plains of Eidolon, in the Orvalis, and the camp beyond Drift. More specifically, where to find them, which spear to use, at what time to fish for them, and which bait to use, so...
That's just throwing a spear. I know about Stardew System. Stardew System makes sense. I think it's one of the better ones, honestly. Yeah, this, like, listen, Warframe is a great game. This is not fun fishing.
Today's video is about fishing, so if you've got questions, I've got answers. There are 5 different types of fish that you can catch in Tower Unite, being the small, large, rare, item, and rare item fish. So how exactly do we go about catching
What the fuck?
these fish? Well, for starters, we need to purchase a fishing pole. You can purchase a fishing pole at the Gone Fishing Bait Shop. There are 2 of these bait shops, one of them located here behind the game arena, and the other one located by the Poseidon roller coaster. Fishing poles can be purchased for the low price of just 5,000 units. You only need one, so it's just a one-time purchase, and then you'll be on your way to making money. You can also purchase the bait at the store too.
What is
There are all
Towers
sorts of
Unite?
different types of baits, with each bait doing a slightly different job. The types of fish that we catch can be categorized into 2 different sections, the normal fish and the item fish. The normal fish are the fish themselves, so when you catch the fish, you are able to keep it and do all sorts of different things with it. The item fish work slightly different. Instead of getting the fish itself, you get a random item in return. The best baits that I've found in order to get these certain items are the curly grubs and the worms.
Pocket jockey. Luigi guy streamed it, so I'm just gonna look at his thing so we can figure out what it is. Because I think this card game might actually be a better way of doing stuff. So we'll just, if you haven't seen Luigi guy's streams, go follow him. It's Luigi guy, the Luigi guy on Twitch and such. Check out Sea of Stars. Fishing.
There you go, in the description. Anyways, how to fish in Sea of Stars. It at first seems a little crazy. The music's going like full hootenanny mode. It seems like it might be pretty difficult. You might break a fish or 2 off, break a line or 2, but it's actually very simple. So all you have to do, if you're watching this gameplay here, you'll notice when you cast, so you cast with X.
I mean, this
right,
isn't Luigi guy. This is some rando.
Cast, the line, the controls are right on the screen. You can, like I said, there's 11 I've ever seen, but it is pretty fun. It's cool to.
I mean, that looks. I like the length of the lake. It's better than some of the ones that I've seen.
Is it Val?
All right, gameplay.
You don't think about that a lot. Like, flamingos are just weird. You
They are.
You usually see them behind, like in zoos.
Mhm.
So you don't think about petting them.
You wouldn't.
I think shoebills like being pet. So maybe flamingos
I don't
do as
trust
well.
that shit though.
Any flamingos in chat? No, I'm not pink, unfortunately. So sorry. Your horse will dash towards the comfort zone level drawn on the last card you clear and start solitaire. Oh, okay, interesting.
Okay.
Level 3 is behind the exclamation mark. If you were paying attention there, the level numbers show up very briefly while the card's going down.
Yeah, I
And
also
there's a
should
secret,
do
yes,
that,
you should
Twink
start counting the
Master.
number.
Just
These numbers
stream with
represent
him
the
at
level
some
of
point.
comfort zone your horse will aim for once it leaves the gate. All right, there we go. So we're gonna want the exclamation mark. Don't know what the hearts are though. I think that's new.
So it's just solitaire?
All right. I'm just gonna do this, and then I can't fucking draw. Okay, never mind. Fuck it. We're going for 2.
Okay, that's not the style of gameplay that I wanna do. I mean, that's the main thing about like my card game. It's like, what's the challenge? Because a lot of games like, okay, fishing chain of memories. So like, whenever you play a game like Hearthstone or whatever, like you've got an opponent, right? It could be a score attack thing. Yeah, but I want to know how I can make, like, I feel like, so like, yeah, I guess it could be like there's a fish, right? And, or, you know, the concept of a fish. It'll never be a fish. But like, it has like, or like, is it just like, you just try and run your score up a bunch? Like, so like you play cards that increase the bait, or you play cards that are bait, which increases its taste because it's going to be more and more food. Is fishing the point of the game itself? Yes. You put more and more bait into it, which means that you get bigger and bigger catches. It's mainly like I've got a reason for why you'd be fishing, but I don't have, so it's like Baltaro where the enemies are the threshold. But like what I've got right now is I've got 3 different stats hooked to 3 different things. Something like Potionomics, but for fishing. I forgot how Potionomics did their shit. But like a score attack thing. Like, should it be like taste value needs to add up to like 20 or fucking whatever size? Or should it be like, maybe it should be like the value of it also is like important, but then it's like, how do these multiples work? Like, is it going to be a straight multiple, or is it like taste is worth more than size or something like that? Look is the other thing. How does the fish look? Which I feel like should be its own thing, because I think if it's like a really interesting looking fish, like even if it's not for food reasons, you could like stuff it, and it's 3 different ways that you could interact with this fish. It could be based on what people want. So the thing is, with like games like Hearthstone or whatever, you have guys that attack, but essentially what I've described there is like 3 different there's 3 different like score systems, right? You got taste, size, and look. Those are things that all fish have. And your hand is going to be like a bunch of cards that'll like, I don't know, somehow benefit that. And you're going to have cards that draw more cards, which are going to be skill. And they have like, but it's like only like the only draw cards that are any good, or the only cards that give you more energy to play more cards in a turn, are going to be like the higher level skills. So the first ones are like draw 1, discard 1. Well, later ones might be draw 2, no downside. How do you get more cards? With the bait, I think that you should get bait through packs, but the pack is just like a pack of mud. And like you open it, you just get like, I don't know, five things. This sounds like Wingspan. Like, you draw a card every turn, obviously. Friends versus friends. Is that related to this?
Friends vs. Friends is an FPS arena shooter, but it's got a special secret. It's also a card game. Picture yourself dropped into
I've seen this, yeah.
locals and given a deck of cards. These aren't just any cards, though. They're magic. By playing a card, you can arm yourself with a fancy broomstick. Give you or your partner a leg up with a buff. Curse those that aim to do you harm. Some of the cards will have unexpected consequences.
Yeah, I've seen this game before, and I think I recall playing it, and it was just okay. It's not video games, but Kodak is a YouTuber that, I mean, it's really just like, how does playing cards end with the result of, like, what does playing cards do, right? Because normally when you play a game that's a fishing game, you like throw your rod out, and then like you're just sitting there waiting for the fish to get on the line or whatever. And then when they do, they usually have some sort of like, you know, in Stardew Valley, they've got that little like bar where the fish is inside it. And as long as it's inside it, it's fine. But like occasionally the line will like go outside of that range. And so you got to kind of, I like that mechanic. That is a good mechanic for like how this works. But like, you have the assurity of catching something with this system, which is fine because you're never going to be catching fish. So you would never catch anything that, you know, would actually want to try and get away. But it should increase the taste, the look, and the size. Bait could be energy instead. What are you catching if not fish? That's like the whole premise behind the plot and the story for the game, so don't worry about it. What if lure is energy? Or what if bait is energy? What does a single loop look like? I would imagine very similar to Stardew, but without the farming. You go say hi to all your fellas, you go fishing. The game ends once, or the night or the day ends after a good day of fishing. Like, that's going to be a thing that they say. Like, you can't end the day without a good day of fishing. And then, like, there you go. There's context unlike like Baltro. Yeah. No, it's gonna be like Stardew where you like run around and do stuff. So there's like, you can catch things, but it's never gonna be fish, and you need to. That's the core thing that everyone cares about. Like how in Pokemon, everyone just cares about Pokemon. but like, well, it's not so much that people want you to catch fish. It's more just like, do you have a design document? I've been like writing some stuff out. I need to figure out this part and then I can move on. But that's my hang up right now. And then I think I also need to set up like a check out normal fishing. It has a demo. Demo. Hello. There you are. Welcome to Lap Boy. Yeah, I think that I need to like mess around with like note cards or something. Yeah, Boyd. What a Boyd. Here he is. It's boy time. He's boy. All right, well, I mean, this game looks interesting. Looks like a lot of mini games. Okay. What are you looking at? Where would you go? Where would you go? You're not going anywhere. You're staying in my lap. He's been very needy as of recent. Just like coming around and like screaming at me if I don't like hang out with him. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really care for that way of doing it, but I think that might have to be the way. Legend Cask. Yeah, it's gonna have to be, like, requests. It's a boy. If that wasn't the way, then what would the alternative be? I guess. All right, so things that I need to do. I need to work on that, but I feel like that's something that I want to work out on my own. Only move is hustle. Nobody wants to die. Lobotomy. I don't really want to do lobotomy right now because I feel like people aren't ready for that. Helldivers, no. Baltro, no, I'm not really feeling that, man. I kind of just want to do more art, man. I think I'm gonna do art, but it's gonna be after this boy gets done sitting here in my lap because I can't really do that. While he's here, obviously, because he's using my lap. Nah, I want to work on Carla more. I've got a bunch of drawings of Carla that I need to like color in. Like this one, for example. And I just wanted to get done with it. A tower defense game with structures being built from Lego bricks. That's kind of neat. Don't be such a baby. Socrates. I'm gonna have an extra layer here, and then we're gonna put like turn on this blue layer way the fuck down here. And then really hard to do this with a mouse, but I mean, I can't not pet the kitty, right? They need couple therapy to bring them back together. Yeah, I agree. Her tits are... Does that sound like it could be going in the right direction? I mean, I've got it. I was just like, I don't get what the point of the card game would be or what the challenge would be. But some of it, I think, is like increasing size decreases taste and such. I think but regardless, I think for a card game, it's not good to use Rimpy. Like, it's just not. Like, yeah, that's what I was saying, is like, is it really important that it's a card game for it to be a fishing game? Like, not really, right? Like, it's kind of not relevant that it's a card game. Also, I'm going to redraw her booblets. And get rid of this for a minute. Get rid of this. And then I think we're going to duplicate and shrink them. Or at least press them together some. Do it like the Baltro devs and write it using only if else. Jesus, why? Because like RuneP doesn't really do card games. And the thing is, by doing a card game, I can't do RuneP. You know what I mean? Alright, so there's the original tits. If it works, it works. I mean, true. Alright, so maybe we just bring him in? Yeah, what if I did a new layer and I just did like so? Yeah, I feel like RenP is just not the right tool for that job. Like, I could use RenP for that, but I could also use literally any other service. And I don't really want to do spaghetti code if I can avoid it. But I did look it up, and there are ways of doing card games with RenP, but it is not a happy time. I think I'm just trying to force it to be a card game because I like card games, and it would be a mechanic that's unique for a fishing game, but like, it's not really doing anything for the game. You know what I mean? Let's see if, like... Yeah, let's draw these tits and then move them around. Yeah, I mean, like... You could use Python, or you could use RenP for a card game. It just does not feel like the right tool for it. I've seen a lot of people use... Fuck, what is the name of that? RPG Maker for some reason. Like, I've seen a lot of RPG Maker card games. Because, like, you can have infinite equipment slots, and so you just make your equipment slots, like, your deck, and you set your equipment to only have 6 slots. It's fighting games on RPG Maker. What in the fuck? Like, I think that before I get into, like, making any game, I need to figure out what fucking genre it is, and then which, like, what does it need in order for it to, like, do well? I think if I just drag in the tits just a little bit to bring them together, How set are you on fishing in the first place? 100%. It is a fishing game about not fishing fish. All right. And then we just got to connect up these lines. Oh, that's the wrong brush. That's why it's wrong. Well, I'm just like, I don't think that it needs to be a card game. You know? Also, if you do magnet fishing in the river, it seems like you only find gun. Or at least that's what I always see when I look at magnet fishers online. I always find guns. And knives and shit. What are you catching? I mean, that's the whole point of the game, isn't it? Like, the title is like kind of clickbait in that it tries to like go, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, how can there be a fishing game with no fish? So, like, don't worry about that element of it. Like, that element will make complete sense at some point. You have to contact the police before you go magnet fishing most of the time? That's wild. I did not know that. Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, between survivor's bias and also probably just, you know, people faking it. So, I mean, no one wants to see the one where you go out and do nothing. I think I just need to, like, make a better fishing mechanic. Because right now, fishing mechanics suck. Can I be real? Like, none of the games that were recommended there were, like, games that had fun fishing. That's why I'm, like, tempted to keep with the card game thing, because I could make that into a fun gameplay mechanic. But it's just kind of like, why, though? Warframes is kind of fun. I mean, it's just a first-person shooter, or a third-person shooter at that point. I mean, that's literally the story, is there are no fish in this lake, or you're trying to catch fish, you're just incapable of doing so. You're bad at it. And so you catch other things. I think that's a good top. Yeah, it looks better now. All right, let's combine these layers. Like I said, y'all don't need to worry about that because that involves like a whole bunch of shit that is just so not relevant to anything that we're going to be working on anytime soon. It's just the current thing that I'm working on or thinking about, and it's like, really, I don't see a reason there to be a fishing or a card game, mini game in this. Right? I'm hoping that this game actually releases sometime soon. Found a ring and it turned out to be a grenade pin. How the fuck do you find a... Where was he magnet fishing? That he found a grenade pin. With a I mean, that's how you'd know it was grenade. Well, they used to tape grenade paddles shut because they would come undone. Or at least there was a fear that they would come undone. Zot found a grenade recently? Zot, not Gear. I was gonna say, like, doesn't Zot do the magnet stuff? But I mean, why not have Gear do it too? That's wild, man. That's really wild. My God. Ortho linked the clip. You gotta see it.
That's big. That's big. Here's a ring. Oh.
Man, he is fucking lucky.
What is this? There's more to that. Oh fuck, 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 oh fuck. That is a grenade. That's a grenade. That's a grenade.
Holy shit, man. That's wild. You can't script that shit. No, he didn't like leave it there. He walked away from it because he'd pulled the pin. It was a smoke grenade? Well, that's good at least. No way to know that shit before pulling the pin, though. Like, there's no way to know what that is or if it's gonna go off. Like, you walk away from that shit. If you find a grenade like that was absolutely the correct line of action to take. Walk away, call the bomb squad. And I know people are gonna be like, Rev, what the fuck? People have to not die too, okay? Oh, I'm a stupid bitch. Oh, I hate that. Oh, yeah, I'm a stupid bitch. Let's go. There we are. All right, go ahead and just combine these. I mean, yeah, it also probably was, you know, I mean, it could have also had a bunch of mud holding the paddle down. But, like, that's dangerous for anyone who's nearby that thing, you know? There needs to be someone who, like, gets rid of it, because, yeah, that is a fucking problem and a half. Holy shit. Some of the pin broke off in there as well. I mean, he's got video evidence that he didn't put it there, so there's that. That's wild to me. But instead of talking about the fishing game, let's talk about the dating game thing, because I think that's gonna be the one that I'll work on more publicly. What the fuck? You can buy grenades? Yeah, you can buy grenades. This is America. Who's on the dating roster again? Well, I'm still kind of working on the list. It's definitely got to have Carl, because Carla is going to become a fan favorite, and I feel like that she deserves another moment in the limelight. You know? In order to be like an idol or whatever, you have to be young, right? Are there MILF idols? There's not, right? Like, that's kind of like the opposite of how idol culture works. Like, it's all like focused on teenage girls, roughly, and like a weird obsession with them. I think I'll keep Aiden Rand in just because I want him to be in. We'll have to do some design work or something. I mean, you could just use some stump remover as well to remove stumps instead of using a grenade, but also you could use a stump remover to make a bomb, so there we are. I don't know if he's gonna be like a frat bro, but he's definitely gonna be someone like who majors in business and doesn't like soft sciences. And it's like, my bitch, what do you think science or economics is? That is a soft science if I ever heard one. Copper nails are good for getting rid of stumps. I mean, there's a lot of like naturally occurring fungus that you could just like let go at it, and that would do as well. It's like mushrooms and shit that love eating them. Kind of guy who, dude, I saw someone arguing about whether or not people should wipe front to back or back to front. And it never occurred to me that anyone is wiping in any way other than the way that I wipe. That's fucking wild, isn't it? And they're like, if you wipe front to back, you're good. And I'm just like, what the shit? Wipe down, don't pull. Back to front is how you get UTIs. I mean, if you're really digging in there, man. Like, people wipe the butthole juice into their dick? It's a risk if you got a vagina. Yeah, I mean, if you're sweeping all the shit into your vagina, yeah, that's probably not a smart choice. Sorry, I forgot vaginas existed for a minute. I was just thinking about penis. The fuck is wrong with me? Penis. I mean, am I wrong though? That it's like a weird conversation to have? But it was like one of those like YouTube shorts that I was just scrolling past real fast, and they said that, and I'm like, and they're arguing about it. They're arguing about it like it's toilet paper, which way to hang it, you know? Very similar energy. Where it's just like, what are you fucking talking about? Also, I much prefer her tits like this. Like, better. Not really sure what happened to the white there. That's weird. It's like partially transparent for some reason. Cannoli is, yes, sorry, Count Cannoli. See, this is why it's like not a big deal that you keep asking, hey, do you still have YouTube chat up? Because the answer is no, more often than it ought to be. Sorry. I'm a mess. La da 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 da. Life is a joke. Does it close itself after a while? So, like, here's the deal. In order to actually be able to see when people sub or when they send bits, or, you know, like Pancake Hello, thank you for the 3 months of support. That's on the activity feed. The activity feed shows up on the Twitch side, right? So, like, well, I feel like the main character should be, like, kind of a nobody of sorts. I think that would be best. Like, I don't know as if, like, we should have it be someone, like, well-known. Because, like, Karl Marx and Rand getting together is just incoherent. Will you be able to decide the main characteristics? I mean, like, I don't like dating games where you have stats. It just feels so fucking weird. I mean, I just need to not be stupid. But anyway, the activity feed needs to be up where I can see it. But also, like, sometimes it just eats messages, so I need to have Twitch chat up as well. When you were talking about that stuff with the vagina, my mom came in and turned around. Yeah, no, that's... Your mom's right. Your mom's not wrong for that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is just like... I'd be down to just, like, allow you to pick your pronouns in the game. I think just, like, are you a boy or a girl? Because, like, okay, here's the deal. I don't know if Rand would be respectful of pronoun choices. Something tells me that she shouldn't be, or she wouldn't be. So, like... That's 2 entire scripts to write? No. No, it isn't. You just have, like, a gender variable. Set gender to male. Okay. And then every single time that there's a spot where, like, he, she, they, whatever. Just make the name a I mean, like, name customization is fine, but I feel like name customization and gender would work along the same lines. Right? Because, like, you put in a variable into a string, and that's what the name is now. But, like, what if instead of that, it was like you put in a gender into a variable? Like, I don't really want to go through the trouble of making, like, a gender thing, because I don't think it's super... I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that Agent, like, and Rand would actually, like, respect your pronouns at all. And so it's interesting trying to make a game where, like, I do, but, like, I'd be making a character that wouldn't. There's only 2 sexes. The sex I have with your mom and the sex I have with your dad. Get owned, nerd. I love that. Alright. New layer. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you choose pronouns in a game, like, the expectation that all the characters would, like, be alright with it is kind of bizarre. You've just discovered the problem with modern media literacy. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't get that you can have a bad character. And a bad character that succeeds. And good things happen to. And, like, they win in the end. And that doesn't mean that you endorse those thoughts at all. I think I should just combine all these into one layer now because like it's definitely getting there. Have Ayn Rand misgender you regardless if you're cis or not. I mean, that would be very funny, but I think that it would be very difficult to do that with. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine how difficult it would be to like to some degree, I feel like I don't want that because that just adds so many extra like she just always uses. Well, Ayn Rand is going to be a dude because everyone deserves to get gender swapped. Still, using the opposite requires a binary. I mean, again, I don't think that Ayn Rand would appreciate anything but the gender binary. There's a game about gender dysphoria that asks your preferred gender and then perfectly misgenders you. I mean, yeah. If you're gonna have a game about dysphoria, that seems like step one, right? Yeah. I mean, that's another strat is just do the like you instead of like second person pronouns. Y'all, is gender free? I mean, yeah. If you ever make an author dating sim, make J.K. Rowling trans just to mess with her. I feel like that would be offensive to trans people as well. I don't think that trans people want to like reclaim J.K. Rowling. Never use pronouns to you, but real sheet-eating pros like he, she, they. Yeah. Also, like, if I make it a gender binary, then it naturally excludes some people. So I think if I just make it the protagonist effectively genderless, what if you can have this conversation with Ayn Rand, but if you do and you don't identify as the gender that she or he assumes, then they immediately blacklist you and don't want to date you. We are already writing the game. I mean, basically. Interesting thought. Talking to the asshole is the only way you can set the value. Interesting. I mean, I think that I'm just going to avoid that question at all. I think that just like people assume. Yeah, that or I just go and work within the gender binary. This is one of those occasions where it's like, by having a character like Ayn Rand, like, you're gonna have occasions where, like, the character does or says things that are, like, very against what I say and believe. I think undefined would be better. Yeah, I mean, I could have it where there's like a variable for selection, but that's what I'm saying is like, is that actually good though? A trinity is easier to set at the beginning. I just cannot draw her face right now. Like, her eyes are just eluding me as a concept. Might be the coloring. It might be the coloring. Yeah, I might actually be getting fucked up from that. So, like, her nose is here. And... there's a little bit of a drop down before it gets the eyes. And then there's one eye here, and then we erase all this garbage. Uh-huh. A multicultural group of developers of all nations and creeds, and it's just me. It's about as accurate as any of those company statements. Can I have a 2-sentence rundown on who Ayn Rand is? Ayn Rand is a author from the 1950s. Ayn is spelled A-Y-N, and Rand is spelled, yeah, like Legend just did there. She's an author who is absolutely loved by right-wing punditry. She was notable for saying a bunch of stuff about, you know, being anti-welfare while being on welfare her dying days. She just sucks. Asshole author, yeah. She wrote Atlas Shrugged and was it The Fountainhead? Didn't she advocate for a form of capitalism that's worse? She's the inspiration for the BioShock villain in the first BioShock. All right, where is she looking? She should be looking at the player, I think. That looks a little bit cross-eyed. I think it's something about the way I did her skin here, like the shading for her chin and shit, that's really fucking with me. So I think I'm an Andrew Ryan from BioShock. I'm not a fan of her works. Obviously, you can have your own opinion, but I'm not a fan. At all. Yeah, I only played like a few minutes of BioShock, so I didn't really get into it that much, so I don't really know what it's about, but I know that, like, Andrew Ryan is based on Ayn Rand. Can we bully the libertarians in chat as a treat? The capital L libertarians, for sure. Go for it. Okay, so, like, let's zoom out. if I put a nose and a mouth in there, is that gonna look weird? It might. I think her. Yeah, I kind of doubt that there are any capital L libertarians. All right, I want another like outline layer. I just need to figure out where things are, man. Like I am so fucked up. All right, so like you got like this, the nose is like here. Well, first off, those lines are way too thick, so that's just fucking with me. Can you get with everyone at once? I don't think so. I think that like you would exclude some people. I mean, she looks like a pig now. All right, this is her eyes. That's her eyes. All right, we're deleting her eyes for now, and we're doing something else for a bit, and we're coming back to that once my brain stops being stupid about it. So instead, for now, we're gonna work on all of this other shit. The harem ending is the true ending? I mean, like, I don't see how that could work. Also, like, so here's an issue that I have, and it's a fairly small one when talking about this next game. So, in this game, the Communist Manifesto, Dami Kami Mami Adventure, she's a MILF. So, like, the fact that she's gonna be in high school or whatever, like, isn't that gonna un-MILFify her? I mean, she could still be a mom and she can still have MILF energy as someone who's in high school, but it's, like, weird, right? Community college? Okay, got it. You can be a MILF in community college for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm asking is, like, do we need this to be a school setting? And if it's not a school setting, would, like, idol work? Not really, right? Like, I really want to have, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, festival or some shit to end it off with. I found out that by, like, coffee shop would work. Like, they work at a coffee shop because, like, coffee, like, that's money. Karla Marx would have something to say about money, as would Ayn Rand and a lot of these other people. Community college seems fun, and community college could be a thing. I'd believe community college. Argue with each one on polyamory. Actually don't know their takes on that. I think that Marx and Rand were both fairly, like, just do monogamy. Also, there's something very fucking weird with her feet here. We're not slowing down, because we're just coloring right now, so it doesn't change anything. It might be about how the shadows are. Like, there's probably some perspective shit going on here. Who's in the disciplinary committee? No idea. But you see how it kind of works? Like, if it's a school setting, like, I feel like that's, like, kind of the standard for a dating game, is that it's a school setting. Probably just because that's the age group that they're trying to aim for. It's like, because high school girls are high school. You know? There's a certain creepiness to that. But regardless, I believe that's the reason on why they're all high school settings. Wouldn't want them to be old. It's allegedly because it's a high point. Dude, I didn't go to high school because I was homeschooled. Would anyone say that it was a fucking... Like... Was high school good for anyone? High school sucked dick, you missed out. See, that's the thing, isn't it? Okay, so we can turn that on, and then we can go to here? Nope. Here? Oh, that's that one pose that's just going to be hard to use. What the fuck? Oh, because this one's not... Okay. Which pose is this? How grounded in reality? I mean, like... You know, I do want it grounded in reality. Ah, that's the back of her foot, not her, like, toe bone. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Got it. Okay. On a scale of Hitalia to autobiography, Hitalia. Like, we're definitely more on the Hitalia end with this shit. Does anyone want to, like, check and see, like... So, aside from, like, Wada Shoujo, like, the average number of dateable people is going to be, like... What? 5, 6, 7, 8? Like, how many can we date? Gotta be 8, go for 8. I mean, 8 is a lot. Small scale is like 4 to 7. 2 for joke, 6 for serious. Alright, well, I mean, I definitely want to do more than 2. Why don't we do 6 and we can have some secret characters to get it close to 8? Then it doesn't feel like a lot. So we've got Rand, we've got Diogenes, we've got Carla. You know, after re-listening to some of Perhone's stuff, I kind of feel like Goldman, like, kind of got it together better. You know? I don't know, it just seems a little weird. Where's the lighting coming from? The light is coming from up and to the right. Yeah, okay, so we got the shading on this side then, and then through here, through here. We might do a little bit on the other leg as well on both sides, but it'll be fine. This shadow is not in the original, but it's there because it would have to be based on the way that her legs are set up. But this right here is definitely a shadow that you can see. Who are the teachers? I mean, I think I'm just gonna have Socrates and then have Aristotle as like the suck up TA. But the thing is, with Aristotle, like, Aristotle is a much older philosopher, which means that, like, the theories and the stuff that they're learning, that's why, like, the teacher thing is hard. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. Teachers. Diogenes made my list, but I think I want him to be a secret character. Like, I don't think that, like, you're gonna interact with Diogenes that much. Like, you can choose to end the game early and just become, like, someone who dates Diogenes, and you just, like, live in a fucking barrel next to him. Like, having a fully fleshed out Diogenes, that's great, thanks. Diogenes, like, there's not a lot written about him, so, like, having, like, it'd be hard to write his character because we really don't know anything about him aside from that he fucked with people. Like, everything we know about him is from other people, which is kind of standard for the time, but, like, even more so. Like, he didn't leave any writings, probably because he didn't see a point. But he did make some solid points of his own. Like, he definitely was useful. Oh, right. I can't do that. I have to go, like, weird about it because the level of that. Right. Okay. Aesop is a furry. God. All right. I think this is fine. All right. I think that we duplicate this layer real quick and then we try and fuzzify it so that way it kind of like blends in rather than not. All right, so first off, we need to like what the fuck? What? What? Oh no. Right. Being stupid is so fucking hard. Okay. Okay. Now stop being stupid. Make another layer. Why isn't it erasing? Because you're stupid, bitch. Because you're very stupid. I often make fun of myself while I'm doing art. I don't know if other people do. Aesop the sexy furry librarian. I mean, it's an option for surezies. Why do you want to make Aesop a furry so bad? Just because all of his stories involve, like, animals? All right, and then I just want to like add in a little bit like right here. And right here. And there we go. Everyone's getting bent. Yeah. Make a furry just for the sake of getting furries to play it. I mean, don't like furries like weeb shit too? Not have to do the furry thing too? Because, like, I don't know how to draw furry shit. And I'm not, like, an expert in this. You didn't know how to draw anime, and now look at what you're doing. I mean, I get it, but also, like, be wronger. Yeah, no, I saw what you said. No worries, I got you. All right, well, there's legs. We need to do hands to some degree. I'd like to do each new layer as a new layer and then merge them once, like, it's all good. Because chances are it probably is, like, I don't need to do anything more. Bree is a fella, not a furry. Yeah, Bree is not a furry. Because, like, the line for furry starts way past that point. Like, I think the idea of having Aesop be a furry in a fursuit is funny. Is Bree feral? No, no. I don't think that The March of the Mice is a furry story. I don't see how anyone could see it as such. Let me put it that way. Bree is a few steps over feral and a few steps before furry. Is Bree weird? Bree is fairly weird. Yeah, I would say that Bree is a weird character. 100%. I don't think you can really argue with that. Like, Bree does her best. Not terribly well, though. We need to get rid of these lines because they represent what's going on with the hair. This line as well. Cool. All right, and then now we're doing this darker hair. So, like, we need it here. And then, like, back here, obviously. And then, obviously, over here on this side. Fairly consistently. And then this one almost always, because it's so far in the back. And then right here, we need pretty much all this shit right here to be shaded. Because it's, like, under her chin line. Anyone that's Chad Johns to is going to be weird. I don't like those sentences. I don't like those sentences. is this all... Yes, it is, because the other side is highlighted. Because it's right in the light. Fuck. I feel like Emma Goldman would be a more interesting character than Prohone. And I also think that Emma has leveled up. Like, do I ask? Like, I don't know. I'll ask about that once I... Like, I'll ask, like, a philosopher subreddit or something. Like, hey, which philosophers should I put in my porn game? Anyway, I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'll be right back. And then I think we're gonna switch to something else because I'm not really feeling this right now. Give me like 2 minutes, BRB. What, the Mountain Dew movie ad? Like the ad for Mountain Dew, but it was also an ad for Borderlands. The movie didn't work for you? Damn. I'm gonna have to try something else. Like maybe making a good product. Which one am I talking about? I don't know, actually. Let's see. I'm thinking we maybe pick up Dungeons, Degenerates, and Gamblers. Because I need a new game. Oh, it's cheap. $13.50. Cool. I loved this game when I was, Huh, okay. Sorry, just seeing other, games. Okay, continue. Have you seen Randy Pitchford's copium about the movie? What did he say? The sun is not a real fucking Catgirl. Price investors warned. Catgirl is a new cryptocurrency. Yeah. Oh, I guess this incredible Hollywood movie can't do our game's plot justice. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, that wasn't the issue with that game. That's just insanity. We're doing Dungeons, Degenerate Gamblers. Or Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers. He's having a bit of a moment. Let me know when you hear this on After Hours. I'm gonna have to call it Silly Gamblers because I can't call it Degenerate. That's like not an okay word as far as Twitch is concerned. After Hours people, I'm gonna be flicking the switch, so here we go. 3, 2, 1.